Hello everyone, I'm the TheAlienDoctor and welcome back to another video. Today this is actually a tutorial on how to build the villager breeder that you see behind me right now. And this villager breeder uses the nether to basically get the baby villagers as far away as possible so that they can unlink from their beds. And yeah, it does this because the rules of villager breeding is that a villager needs to actually be willing to breed first of all, and you can do that just by giving them some food, and then also there needs to be more beds in the village than there are villagers for villagers to breed, so you don't need any doors or anything like that. And you also, I'm pretty sure you don't need workstations, or actually you know what, you might need workstations. However, this villager breeder basically has composters here so that some of the villagers can be farmers and harvest their own food, so you the player don't really have to chuck them any food. However, I would recommend it, but you know, these guys should just automatically harvest all these carrots and stuff, or you could do potatoes if you want to. Oh, and there'll also be a world download down below, of course, and there's also a Java version if you want to build this a villager breeder. Then this probably would work on Java. However, there's a different design that I'd recommend that doesn't work on Bedrock. There'll be a link for that down below in the description. It's basically Impulse SV's design because that works pretty well. But anyway, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, one of the most important things that you need to do with this is make sure that you don't have any nearby villagers, beds or workstations that these guys can link to, which does mean that you've kind of got to, obviously you can build it just far away, but I'll cut this part out of the video, I'm sure it'll be fine. And yeah, make sure there aren't any beds and make sure that there aren't any workstations nearby as well. And definitely don't kill the villagers. I'm sure that will be fine. But yeah, just make sure that there aren't any beds or workstations nearby. I think it's something like 96 blocks or something like that. I would do it just like 100 or something like that, just to be safe. But anyway, let's actually get into the tutorial now. Okay, I'm going to build this in a different world for the actual tutorial. This is my testing world, just because the other world was kind of being a little bit strange. But anyway, what you're going to want to do first of all is build up by 4 in whatever block you're using. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Destroy these two, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go around like this to kind of create a circle, and then go 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 to create this sort of shape. You're then going to want to just round it off like this and kind of just create a square. And after you've done that, you're just going to need to fill in all of this dirt, so I'm just going to do that quickly. After you've filled in the dirt, place a slab here, waterlog it, come down here and place in a glowstone block right there, or you could alternatively use a sea lantern or a Gecko lantern, or probably a shroom light as well. But yeah, next you're going to want to build over this side. You're going to need to get yourself any type of trapdoor and just place them over here like this, and then place some temporary blocks, and then place these trapdoor. Oh, actually no, these are permanent blocks. Just bring this along like that, and then place the trapdoors on the ends of these blocks like this. And then for now you can leave these closed, but this is where your villagers are actually going to fall, or your baby villagers will fall down into. Next, you're going to probably want to build up your walls, so you can place a temporary block here and then a block here and then destroy this block. and build a wall all on, well, just build it on this side and on this side for now, and then go up by one and then place slabs on top like that, and do that for this side as well. And that was too far high, too far up. Then place a slab on top like that, and there you go. You should be left with this. Now you're going to want to build two out from here like this, and then you're going to need to get 4 beds, sorry, and place one here, one here, and one here, and one here. Then you're going to need to finish building off this wall. You can miss out the corners if you want to, but yeah, just build this wall up like this and then put slabs on the top. The slabs stop the villagers from jumping out. You could put a full block there if you want to, but you don't really need to. You could just put a slab, and as you can see, the player cannot jump out, so the villager shouldn't be able to. You could put a full block here, but that's a little bit more expensive, and by putting these slabs here, it will also stop any mobs from spawning up here as well, because that could kind of be an important thing. But yeah, next up, you're going to want to build 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then do that on this side as well, just to extend them out and put slabs on the top, and then build out on here by one more, and then this is where your beds will be, but for now, don't place in your beds. And then you're also going to need to build up a wall here at the back, once again just building it too high and then putting slabs on the back, and that's the main part of the villager breeder done. Next up, you're going to need to place slabs here like that, and this means that only baby villagers can walk underneath here, and baby villagers or just any mobs actually see all these trapdoors as full blocks, so you can go ahead and open these if you want to. You will have to at some point, and then I normally just put a block of glowstone or just a light source block here, but that you don't have to if you don't want to. Next, it is time for you to get your villagers in. So obviously I can just spawn them in, but you're going to have to try and transport them from a village somewhere, and actually there should be a block underneath that bed. But yeah, you're probably going to have to try and use boats and leads, because in Bedrock Edition you can actually lead boats, and I can just show you this really quickly if I just also get myself a lead. So as you can see, I've got this villager in a boat. I can then lead the boat and pull it around, so you could actually get 2 villagers in here and still be able to move it, whereas if you're riding in the boat you can obviously only fit 1 villager. But anyway, you're going to need to transport your villagers here, and then I'll just do that again to show you. You're going to need to make sure that they link to the beds over here, and then I'm also using Foxy No-Tail's mob head add-on, so that's why they dropped. Download the link in the description. And yeah, so you're going to need to make sure your villagers that you bring in here link up to these beds, which is why we haven't placed the beds in over there yet. So just bring your villager over here and make sure it is not a nitwit, which are the ones wearing these green coats. They're bad. But yeah, there we go. And also make sure they're not already connected to a workstation. But anyway, he should be linked to that bed, and what you can do is actually just wait for it to be night, and then they'll actually go and sleep in the beds. And so we just need 3 more, and as you can see, they have all linked to the bed. Now what you're going to need to do is place in your workstations. So go 1, 2, 3, place 1 here. Well, actually no, sorry, here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, and then 1, 2, like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then this side 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Then you're going to need your workstation. So you can actually use, you need to have 2 composters and then 2 different ones. So this could be any workstation you want. For this I think I'm going to use blast furnaces. So you're going to need to place composter here, and then, yep, there we go, he's a link to it, and then another one here, and he's linked to it. Then place in a blast furnace or your other workstation here, and as you can see, that guy's linked to it, and then place the blast furnace in here as well. These 2 don't have to be the same workstation if you don't want them to be either. Then for some blocks you're going to have to crouch to do this, but place a glass block on top of all of these workstations. This stops your villagers from jumping on top of the workstation and then jumping on your crops and basically destroying the crops. And then next up, you're actually going to need to hoe all of this area, and you can either put in carrots or potatoes. That's kind of your choice. But yeah, it's kind of good to just start these growing. And because we have this water here, all of these blocks should actually be able to grow land on them. All of these blocks should get hydrated because we have this waterlogged slab in the middle. As you can see, when they go darker, this means that they're hydrated. And then yeah, you're going to need to place in all your crops. I don't think you can use wheat, or well, yeah, you can't use wheat, but you can use. The villagers can breed using bread, but not wheat. So I just wouldn't place in any wheat in here because you'd have to manually craft it into bread, if that makes sense. But yeah, just plant in all of these crops, carrots or potatoes, and I'm pretty sure the beetroots actually do work as well, but you probably don't really have any of them because I don't really know anyone that collects them. If you wanted to, you could also put slabs on the top here just to make it look nicer. I'm going to do that just because I think it looks nicer, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And yeah, so this is the main part of your farm or villager breeder actually done. Next, you're going to want to place in the beds here, and these beds will make sure, these beds are what the villagers will link to, the baby villagers will link to. They're then going to walk over here and down into here, into where we will have a water stream. So next thing you're going to need to do is get some obsidian and a flint and steel, because you will be making a nether portal, because the way this farm works is using nether portals to actually send them into the nether. And you're going to want to go underneath this block here and then go place these 2 in the floor, go up by 3, go up by 3 again, and then place these 2 here. That's a nether portal. You can light it. We're going to leave it unlit for now, but there we go, it's there. Next, you're going to need to get glass, or I use glass, but you don't have to use glass if you don't want to. It just looks nice. But yeah, just build all of this, and you might want to leave a little bit open just so you can actually walk into that. Or alternatively, if you actually destroy this with a silk touch pickaxe, it will drop the glass. So that is another option. Or you could just walk through the nether portal because it's not lit yet. Then you're going to want to place, well, I guess you can place sandstone. It actually does not matter what block you use here, but just any blocks will do. And then place 2 water like that, and this should go, okay, never mind. Place two blocks here, and then place your water in, and this should go, yeah, there we go, that goes perfectly into the portal frame. So yeah, this is basically your entire villager breeder actually done now. You're going to need to place in some glass here, or anything here. I'll just use glass because it's nice, and then put slabs here as well. Occasionally you may get zombie piglins coming through your nether portal, but they will probably go back through again. I'm pretty sure they will because of the water, but they definitely won't be able to come out the other side because you place these glass here. So yeah, if you, first of all, actually in your world settings, you're going to need to make sure that in game section, scroll down and make sure that mob over here, so if you've got cheats on, you're going to need to make sure that mob spawning and mob griefing are turned on, and then you can just back out of that. Now what you could do if you want to, which is what I'm going to do, is to speed up the villager breeding. You can just go ahead and drop loads and loads and loads of potatoes. These villagers should pick that up. He's breeding, but he's got a full inventory, so he can't pick up the rest of these. But somebody else probably will. But anyway, as you can see, these two villagers are breeding. A baby should appear at some point, and the way you know they're breeding is if they love hearts and they start chucking each other food. But anyway, here we go. We have a villager. This guy is either going to walk over here and into our nether portal naturally, or when it gets night, he's going to try and get to his bed over here and fall down anyway. So yeah, that's why we put the beds here, just so he's guaranteed basically to walk over there. And yeah, it looks like those guys, there we go, we've already got two babies. These two should link to the beds over here as well. And I don't know why they've not picked up these potatoes. There we go. And yeah, so eventually these guys are going to walk off into here. When it gets night, actually, the villagers, as you can see, walk straight over and into here. The reason we have two trapdoors of space is actually because I found in my testing that occasionally a baby villager could actually walk over this block. So yeah, that's why I've got that. And oh no, there's mobs in here now. Let's just sail back to day. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the main part of your farm actually done now. Obviously make sure that there aren't any mobs in here. You are going to get loads of zombies spawning in here, or what they're going to try and do is they'll spawn somewhere else and then walk underneath here and then just never die because they've not got sunlight above them. But these glowstones should stop monsters from spawning directly down here, but they'll still walk under here because of the villagers. So yeah, just be aware of that. But anyway, next you're going to need to light your nether portal, and if you don't know how to link nether portals, I'll give you a real quick tutorial right now. So you're going to need to stand on one of the blocks on the inside. It doesn't really matter which one, and you're going to need to as you can see there, we've got the two coordinates, the X and the Z. Those are the ones we care about. The Y doesn't matter. So the X is the first one, and in my case it's 102. So I'm going to just need to real quickly grab a calculator. But what you can do is 102, or whatever your X coordinate is, and divide that by 8. And then write that down. For me, it's 12. And then do... well, actually, I should probably write that down. Just give me a second. So yeah, basically divide 102, or your first coordinate, by 8. And then I'm also going to need to do minus 30 divided by 8. You are going to need to have the minus in there. The minus is important. And then you're going to get two numbers. In my case, minus 12 and minus 15, and what you're going to need to do with those numbers is those are actually the coordinates that you're going to need to build the nether portal actually in the nether. So you can go ahead, light your nether portal, and this is linked to a nether portal that I already have in my world. So we're going to need to go to the coordinates that we wrote down earlier. So minus 12, which is this way, which is right here, and then minus 15, which is right here, and it doesn't actually matter about the middle coordinate. And then you're just going to need to build up your portal like this, and then this is linked to the wrong one because this world's kind of weird. But yeah, this should have worked now if I just fly back over to the villager breeder. And sorry if the frame rate's kind of dropping. Okay, so I've done some kind of strange stuff in my world in MCBE tool chest, which means that my nether portals are kind of broken on this world. But for you, that should work perfectly. And what you are going to need to do is just mine out a little bit of an area, and you can build this up in glass. It does not really matter, and you can miss out these corners if you want to, which I do. Just also put the put the glass here, and then put slabs on top, and then just cover this off as well on the front. And yes, so all your villagers should now fall into here. What you're now going to need to do is actually go ahead and get some trapdoors and place in your trapdoors here and here, I think. Yeah, like that. And there we go. They should now... Oh, and also get yourself some buttons of any type and put them down here at the nether portal. And yeah, that now your villagers are going to just drop down here. You can just have like this area. This will be your little containment area for the villagers that come in. Now I'm going to go through this nether portal. It's not linked properly just because my world, there's a couple of broken stuff in it, in this world, to do with nether portals. But in your world, it should work fine. And yeah, so that's basically your villager breeder done. So, you know, you could want a villager breeder for many reasons. Iron farms in the new 1.16 update have been improved massively, meaning that it's actually kind of worth building them now. And you need villagers for iron farms, you also need villagers for raid farms. You know, a bunch of just villager-based farms, they come in handy. And yeah, I do hope you have enjoyed this video, and if this tutorial has helped, then feel free to leave a like or even subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. There's more content like this, and there's also a Discord server down below, my Discord server. If you have ever any problems with this, then go ahead and join that, and I will happily help you out. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will see you later. Bye.